I don't think Netanyahu is interested in the hostages. Tom, he's not interested in the hostages. They would have been home long ago if he was.
This would have been done a long time ago. The words from Ambassador of Palestine Husam Zomlot. This guy has been a beacon for the Palestinian people, working tirelessly trying to get the ultimate result for his people. He's joined with Tom Swarbrick. Let's take a look.
The Hamas-run health ministry says 79 Gazans were killed by Israeli forces whilst waiting for aid. Again, what do you understand to have happened there?
We saw the body bags. We saw the shooting. It was documented. And why do you have to say the Hamas-run health ministry, Tom?
Because it's true.
No, Gaza is run by us. Gaza is run by the international community. There is United Nations all over Gaza.
Hamas were elected to run Gaza.
There is every single institution you can imagine legitimate that are counting. We don't want to shed or to doubt the numbers in this conversation. Numbers are horrific. And by the way, the numbers that come officially is at 58,000 innocent people who have been killed. And just to confirm for you, I am the Palestinian ambassador, so this is not the Hamas ministry. This is 16,500 children have been slain, 10,000 women have been killed. The numbers are there. And guess what? These numbers are so underestimated because we still don't know how many people have been killed and still under the rubble for 22 months. The biggest issue for the innocent people in Gaza now is their inability to bury their own children and the dead ones. And by the way, we also don't know how many people who have died because of other causes, i.e. they couldn't have their kidney dialysis.
Absolutely.
All that.
Diseases.
Yep. You're talking about tens of thousands. So let's not say about Hamas-run health ministry. There is mass murder, mass destruction, mass starvation happening in Gaza, very well documented.
Husam Zomlot shutting down Tom for his blatant ignorance. The nerve to say Hamas-run health ministry followed by It's True is unbelievable when you're sat in front of the guy who runs Gaza. Unlike Israeli officials who, when asked about the numbers, have no idea, and I mean none whatsoever, Mr. Zomlot can give us all the numbers in all the different categories. What's interesting here is Mr. Zomlot says 58,000 have died. That is actually considerably less than all the Western and Middle Eastern published articles have said. So even if someone argues that the numbers have been fiddled with, that is the lowest possible number. The Economist states over 100,000 people have died.
Israel has said since the start of this that it wants the hostages back, and it believes that 20 of the remaining 50 hostages are in this area that they are now rolling the tanks into. Those hostages need to be returned, don't they, as part of a ceasefire agreement, as part of a way of getting this stopped?
Yes, and hostages were being exchanged.
Yes.
They returned, most of them, by the way. Most of the hostages have been...
that has been the most successful way that Israel has had those hostages returned, is through that ceasefire.
But Israel is not interested in that. And the formula has been offered by the mediators all along, and Israel breached already 3 previous ceasefire agreements. So the question is, how do you enforce a ceasefire, rather than how do you call for a ceasefire or present another formula for a ceasefire? And having hostages still in Gaza justifies this complete blockade. I don't think Netanyahu is interested in the hostages. Tom, he's not interested in the hostages. They would have been home long ago if he was. He's interested.
But it's on Hamas to release hostages too, isn't it?
Yes. But there was.
So what pressure can be applied to them to do that? What more pressure needs to be applied to them?
There was, and there's still on the table a ceasefire agreement that would have seen all hostages to be released. But guess what, Tom? Including our hostages. Israel hold more than 11,000 Palestinians. Many of them, thousands, 3,600 of those held in Israeli prisons are held without charge, without trial. 360 of them are children. So, of course, there has to be exchange of hostages. You call this hostage, but you call the Palestinian captives as prisoners, as if they are criminals. Israel is rounding everybody. So, a ceasefire agreement should see...
some in Israeli prison
agreement should see the exchange of hostages and captives from both sides. A ceasefire agreement should see a permanent, immediate and permanent end to this genocide. A ceasefire should also see the moving fast and swift towards rebuilding Gaza, uniting Gaza with the West Bank under one Palestinian government. And guess what? We have the plans. The Arab world has the plans. The rest of the world support this plan. We have all what it takes. Everything is ready. But there is one man that is stopping us and insisting on the continuation of this act of and campaign of extermination. That is Benjamin Netanyahu. So how do we stop him? How do we stop Israel? How do we compel Israel to act in accordance with international law?
Mr. Zomlot, this guy is serious. It's not even about a ceasefire. Let's be real here. A ceasefire isn't that hard to get to. And the hostages, well, the hostages is the only thing allowing Israel to continue its genocide on the Palestinian people. With them returned, they don't have any explanation to provide to the international world. And there's no guarantee, even with the hostages returned, that this genocide will stop. If they wanted the hostages home, then why would they bomb the entire Gaza Strip? Over 75% has been destroyed. 11,000 Palestinian captives in Israeli prisons. The longest serving prisoner was Nail Bagauti, spent over 45 years in Israeli custody.
There is no legal conversation here. Once a country is in the International Court of Justice now, officially on trial for the plausible crime of genocide, you stop sending them weapons. This is a legal obligation. You cannot be half committed to law. You cannot be selective when it comes to what do you send and what you don't. You simply have a full ban on the exportation of weapons that are being used, including the F-35s. Number two, you impose sanctions on the entire government that is committing the genocide. That is absolutely clear in its intent. People are talking about humanitarian.
You say that. Now, hang on. You say that you use the term genocide. Lots of people use the term genocide. I asked one of the UK's most eminent Supreme Court justices last week about that term genocide. He said that there is massive evidence to show that Israel has committed war crimes in the process of this, but he stopped at calling it a genocide because he said the intent was hard to prove. So I'm making that point there as a point of fact.
Do you think our people from Gaza, the Palestinians from Gaza, including myself, I was born in Gaza, do you think they lack money? They have money, by the way. What Israel has been doing for a long period is a blockade of anything to get into Gaza. So this is not about humanitarian. Israel occupies Gaza. So you impose a full blockade on baby's milk formula, on food, on water, on what exactly you know. Then you go and you completely destroy all the agricultural land, all the livestock, and then go back only yesterday. If any Palestinian dares to go and fish, because Gaza is on the Mediterranean, very rich in fish industry, if anybody goes and is killed or arrested, yesterday they arrested three. Why are they doing all that? Why are they? And then when you approach these so-called humanitarian centers, which are death traps by Israel, you are shot and killed, as the number you've just quoted, 79. Why are they doing that if this is not genocide?
This is part of the legal case for intent.
Okay, so please do not get too much focus on terminology. We must agree that there is a campaign of erasure.
There is absolutely
a campaign of erasure, a campaign of extermination and annihilation.
Allow me to speak.
Huh?
You're going to have to allow me to speak.
I am allowing you to speak, but you're challenging a word as opposed to when I just was driving here and I was seeing people literally fainting, fainting. Girls, babies, children fainting because there is no food.
I'm not here to argue with you that it is not absolutely
So we're discussing
appalling.
Is Israel committing these crimes or not now, after all this?
We're not discussing whether necessarily they're committing crimes, but that there is a legal definition for genocide, and I completely accept your point that what is happening in there is absolutely awful, and the images would move anybody. But it is a legal term defined by intent. So that will be one, I suspect, for the ICJ and the ICC to look at.
Tom states he spoke to one of the UK Supreme Court justices who stopped at calling it a genocide. Was this guy a genocide expert? No. Amnesty International have already stated this is a genocide, concluding their investigation. Genocide experts from 6 countries, including Israel, have unanimously agreed this is a genocide. Tom might as well have asked a homeless person. He was literally looking for just one person to say it wasn't. It doesn't matter what one person thinks. The experts have already spoken. Now we wait for the official ICJ ruling.
Can I ask you about a bit of legislation here? Was it wrong to prescribe Palestine action?
Well, this country has a set of laws, and it is very renowned. It's renowned for its legal system. It is renowned for its judicial system. It's renowned for its police and the way that police protect people's right to protest. And I must commend the British police and the British courts for giving and maintaining the space for the British people to protest. Only this weekend there were tens of thousands of the British people voicing their anger at the genocide that is happening, wanting it to end. Okay?
So you don't have an issue with the way they're being policed?
So people have been, and all these hundreds of thousands of the great people of Britain, millions over the last 22 years, have been protesting peacefully. I hope that, if any criminal acts are committed, let the police and the courts deal with it. But politicizing the issue is not something,
including support for Palestine action.
Overstretching the law is not something that we.
Do you think this is overstretching the law?
We should do. Ask that for lawyers, but people's right to protest has to be enshrined. And if criminal acts are committed, I'm sure your police and your courts are capable to deal with this. Describing people's attempts at fighting terrorism, describing people's attempt at trying to stop a genocide as terrorism needs to be thought about very, very, very seriously.
Mr. Zomlot, as always, speaks so calmly, so eloquently and so passionately. He is a very likable person, and his efforts to save his people will go down in history, God willing. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Support me by liking and subscribing, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.